Another come-from-behind win by the Mariners last night. Replay played a big part of it. It was one of the more interesting games, winning by the length of a spike, Mike.
Yeah, there was a lot of things that were interesting about the game last night. I thought it was a good step forward for Elias, who had struggled, didn't have his command, but kept his team in the ballgame. For a young pitcher, that was one of the more difficult things to learn. He did an excellent job of that. And then the Mariners, a couple of the little things that they did correct. And then, of course, the hustle by Saunders, who was able to beat that out. And Romero scoring all the way from second on an infield hit. Some good things happened for the Mariners last night.
Umpire Tom Hallion said that Romero was running so fast he could have caught Saunders at first base. That's how fast he was last night running on that 3-2 pitch. Starters tonight, happy Felix night. Felix goes against Rudy Owens, who's just called up. He just got here about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago. Bo Porter meeting him for the first time.
And for Felix tonight, coming off a pretty good start. In Minnesota, he went 8 innings, giving up just 2 runs in that outing. 5 strikeouts. He had 1 walk, but Felix overall looks like he's starting to regain the form. Had a couple of outings where he struggled when he was ill, lost a bunch of weight, but he looked much better. You can see the great change up. That pitch is something that he hadn't had for the previous 3 starts. I thought he looked really good in that last outing on the road. So hopefully that will continue as the Mariners go against the Astros tonight.
Rudy Owens, a guy that was with the Pittsburgh organization, a 2-time pitcher of the year, left-hander. What have you heard about him?
Average will be fast. His fastball will be an average fastball, 88 to 89 miles an hour. He likes to use his slider against the left-handers, changeup against the righties. He also mixes in a curveball, but this is not an overpowering pitcher. He will try to work on the edges and pitch down in the zone. I think the Mariners will probably be patient with him making his debut. See how nervous he is and see if he can command the strike zone.
He was put in the rotation because Brad Peacock has some forearm difficulties. Look at the Kings court tonight. Retro blue, different key cards, crowns all around out in left field. Glad you're with us, everybody. Game 2 of a 4-game set with the Astros. Astros and Mariners first pitch is straight ahead.
Saunders safe. And tonight we get the King on the hill. It is retro King's Court t-shirts, the blue, the K cards, a little different back, I guess, in 1979. Welcome out here to the pen. Brad Adam, our baseball analyst, Mr. Bill Kruger. Boy, it's guys' night out, Firkin Friday. We had so much going on here, and a lot going on last night. You saw Saunders get the big hit, the win in the 7th inning, but what happened in the 8th inning, pretty interesting as well, with Medina on the mound, mowing down the Astros, going strikeout, strikeout, strikeout. Felix in the dugout being cheerleader Felix, as he likes to do.
He doesn't miss too many fun opportunities. This guy loves baseball, and when he's not pitching, he has fun.
He's listening to the crowd. He sees a couple of kids right there pumping it up, screaming for Medina to K. He's already got 2 strikeouts in the inning. Get him, K, get the side.
Boy, Medina cooperated. Wow, he was lights out.
The kids go crazy. The dugout players going crazy. Felix clapping, saying, well done, kids. Oh, hold on. You guys, stay right there. I got something for you. And Felix takes care of fans and people all over. Very generous guy. Loves to see a smile on a kid's face, and here he goes. Gives him a ball. Saying, nice job, buddy. Rewards those for cheering for the Mariners and Medina. And no doubt, everybody in the court and here at Safeco and at home, those kids cheering for the King here tonight. Felix Hernandez, as you said, doesn't miss an opportunity, does he?
Well, he loves to be on the front row having fun, but this guy, you don't do those things unless it's genuine from the heart. That's right. Felix Hernandez. He loves kids.
Gives the ball last night to a kid. Today he finishes up his bullpen session, getting set for his start against the Astros. And what does he do? Finds another kid. Here's the ball. Now watch this. This kid realizes that was Felix Hernandez. Oh my gosh, Mom. Oh, I want to go to school and show everybody. Gonna wait till Tuesday to do that. Lineups, first pitch coming up. Astros Mariners next on Root Sports.
A cloudy, rainy day has morphed into a sunny early evening here in Seattle. And down at Safeco Field, the Mariners playing some really good ball at 500, winning 3 of their last 4 to get the 500 for the 5th time this season. Tonight, game 2 of a 4-game set with the Houston Astros. Welcome, everybody, to Mariner Baseball. Dave Sims with Mike Flowers and the Root Sports crew. The sun has broken through over the last hour or so. It's happy Felix night as Felix is ready for Jose Altuve. And first pitch of the ball game is in there for a called strike. Last night, Altuve first pitch swinging, hit a home run to put Houston ahead 1-0. This guy's having a wonderful season. Jose Altuve. Seager throws him out.
Take a look at the rest of the lineup for manager Bo Porter. After Altuve, it'll be Dexter Fowler. Want to keep him off the base. A lot of speed. Then it's Castro. Dominguez, the DH, hitting cleanup. He has hurt the Mariners this year. 308 average with a couple of home runs. Krause, Presley, Hose, Gonzalez, and VR rounding out the 9 for the Astros. For Felix this year, 2.94 ERA, 5-1 record for Felix. 65 strikeouts over 67 and a third. Only hitting 237 off of him.
Felix trying to get it to a 3-game winning streak, beating Tampa Bay and Minnesota's last 2 outings. Umpires for tonight's ball game. Behind home plate, Eric Cooper. Sean Barber is at first. Tom Hallion, the crew chief, at second, and Paul Nauert at third. Fowler 2 for 7. That gets Felix Hernandez. There's Cano ranging. Can he get it? The throw across the body. Pulls smoke off the bag and be a base hit.
It would have been a great play by Cano. Cano aware of the fact that Fowler is the one that's running the left-handed hitter. Able to range over and get the backhand play. Tried to get rid of it quickly and pull smoke off the bag. That will be an infield hit. Take a look at the rest of the defense. Ackley getting the start in left field. Jones in center. Cole Gillespie out in right. Seager at third. Willie Bloomquist, the shortstop. Cano and Smoke on the right side of the infield. And Mike Zunino will do the catching tonight.
Here's Jason Castro, the Astros catcher. Coming off an 0-for-4 performance last night. Struck out 3 times. Felix aware of Fowler's 5 of 8 base stealing.
One of the areas that I think over the years Felix has really improved on, giving his catchers a chance to throw runners out. Felix is a good athlete. You can see how quick his feet were. He spun around and threw the ball over to first, keep Fowler close. Also quickened up his pace to the plate.
Miss by Castro.
It's interesting, over on the radio side of things, they were asking me about the approach of the Astros. They're a club that are trying to get to where the Oakland A's were at one point, be more patient. I said tonight these guys will be swinging. They want to put the ball in play as quickly as they can off of Felix. They do not want to fall behind. So the last 2 hitters swinging at the first pitch.
Breaking ball, swing and a miss. 0-2. Castro 2 for 9 against Felix. Little retro. Turn back the hands of time. Look here with the blue and the gold. I like the contrast.
I like
everything.
it. Yeah, I like the blue out there with the gold. It's great.
It's about 4 sections. That's one of the bigger sections we've had. Kings Court this season. 0-2 here to Castro. Got it. Castro's now struck out 4 consecutive times. 2 outs.
About this last fastball from Felix, he is definitely feeling better. 95 miles an hour on the outside corner. He just throws it by Castro. Good looking on McDonald's Supermo. You can see how late Castro was on that swing, but a good fastball from Felix at 95.
There's Matt Dominguez. You know, I know, and the fans know if he's got 95 plus that darting changeup. Have a good one, boys.
Well, we've seen a couple of 86-mile-an-hour sliders, including that first pitch. And again, Dominguez swinging at the first pitch. They're going to be aggressive. And yes, I would agree with you. I think the biggest thing with Felix tonight is the Astros. They've struggled average-wise, runs, doubles, on-base percentage. They're towards the bottom of the league, if not last in those categories. But they are third in home runs. So just keep the ball on the ground.
Right field. Cole Gillespie is there. Harmless infield single by Dexter Fowler. Felix off to a good start. Mariners coming to bat. forearm issues with Brad Peacock. They scratch him. They call up from AAA Rudy Owens, a left-hander. Going to get his first big league start tonight against the Mariners. Let's take a look at the Mariner batting order.
Tonight's starting lineup's brought to you by Chevron. Leading off, it will be James Jones. 12-game hitting streak for him. Then it's Romero. Had a good night last night, a couple of hits. He is the DH hitting second. Saunders getting the night off. And it's Cano, Smoke, and Seager hitting in the middle of the lineup. Cole Gillespie getting the start in right, hitting 6. Ackley, Zunino, and Willie Bloomquist rounding out the 9 for the Mariners. At Oklahoma City, you can take a look at Rudy Owens. 2-3 record. 41 2/3. ERA over 6. 32 strikeouts, 8 walks for Owens. Again, not overpowering pitcher. He'll try to work on the edges of the plate. Fastball 88 to 90 miles an hour. Slider to the left-handers. Use a changeup to the righties and mix in a curveball.
So we got 99 batting against 99. You don't see that often. Not even in spring training. First time it's happened in big league history. 0-1 here to Jones. Pitch down low from Owens. He's 26 years old, born and still lives in Mesa, Arizona. 6'3", 241. Jones making a name for himself here with the Mariners. Going back is Fowler, cruising back. Makes the play.
Fowler, a good center fielder. If it stays in the ballpark, he will probably catch it. LJ Ho is getting the start in left field. Alex Presley in right. Gonzalez, the third baseman. VR and Altuve playing up the middle. Mark Krause had last night off. He will get the start at first base, and Jason Castro will do the catching. He did Pirates minor league system, pitcher of the year in 2009-10.
Came over to Houston in the deal that the highlighted player was Wendy Rodriguez, left-hander, back in July of 2012. As we look at Stephen Romero, like what Tom Hallion said, he was a third base umpire. And last night in the pivotal playing a ball game in the 7th inning, bases loaded, 3-2, and runners taking off on the pitch. Hallion said he could have caught Saunders. He was 3/4 of the way home.
And I believe it because we were looking at the play at first, and as soon as the play was called, I immediately looked up and he was crossing the plate. That's what kind of jump he had and how fast he was running.
Slow roller down to Marwin Gonzalez. Goes over to Krause. 2 away. Here's Robinson Cano. And there's Saunders in between Brad Miller and John Buck. Saunders, one of the fine plays you'll see last night. Good presence of mind to see that it was going to be a matter of inches. Slide that foot in. An old hockey move.
Yeah, it was interesting listening to him after the game. He said that he ended up getting messed up with his stride as he was close to the bag, and as he looked up, he said the only play he had was to scoot that foot forward, and he originally thought maybe he was going to have to slide or dive because he thought maybe the pitcher was going to tag him. Turned out to be a great play and the difference in the game.
Well, here's Cano putting up numbers, second in the American League in batting, tied for second in multi-hit games and tied for 4th in hits. He is swinging a hot bat. 11 for 22 on the road trip. One to Robbie. What's your approach seeing a guy first time, big league debut?
I want to see as many pitches as I can, so hopefully he misses with the first couple. I also want to see his breaking ball, get an idea of that. But I think as a group, you're going to make him pitch as much as you can.
Talking about Porter, manager of the Astros, he says you're going to know about him as I learn about him. I mean, he's not real familiar with him at all. And see what happens. 2-1. It's sharply right field, base hit for Cano. Robinson Cano hits just keep on coming. That's his 59th base hit.
He gets a fastball at the bottom of the strike zone, hits it hard back up the middle. Altuve was playing well over into the hole. As you take a look at our McDonald's Supermo and the swing of Cano, hands always inside. That's something he works on daily. It's rare to see him roll over on a pitch. Typically he's going to stay up in the middle of the field.
And they were in order too.
We'll check on him again in the 7th inning.
Good point. Here's Justin Smoke. Smoke, one of the 4 p.m. Warriors today. Extra hitting. And he lines this one. Left field. Giddy up off the fence. Cano to third. And Smoke's got to hustle to get the second. He's there.
Just didn't have enough height under it.
12th double. Second and third for the Mariners with 2 outs in the first. Early hitting. Lloyd McClendon, Howard Johnson working with Smoke a lot today.
Take a look at it. Jumps on a first pitch fastball, 88 miles an hour, and he lines it off the middle of the fence in left field.
Five more feet. Smoke, Franklin, Miller all working closely with Lloyd McClendon and Howard Johnson. It's really nice. I was down near the cage and listening to Lloyd. Good teacher. Really good teacher.
Really good teacher.
And he communicates really good.
Forget about him being a hitting instructor for a long time with the Tigers. A pretty good hitting ball club. He knows what he's talking about.
He had things broken down. Smallest detail. Just listening to him explain, and the guys were soaking him up. Put guys in. All right, hit and run. Show me something. Put it in play. So Nick Franklin at one point, he had a ball that would have been the second baseman. So what was the worst thing that happened? You moved the runner. So really good reinforcement.
I like the fact to see him out there today and working with the guys. I think if you get the manager involved, and Lloyd was out there, especially with Brad Miller. Had a good conversation with Lloyd about Brad yesterday, but to see him out there working, you know what, it tells Brad that he cares. You know, he's involved. He's involved in the situation and trying to get him right. It's good to see the guys out early today. Paid off for Smoke with a double his first time up.
2-1 here to Seager. 6 home runs all here in this ballpark. Kyle, the co-leader in home runs with Smoke and Zunino with 6. Yanked foul. Mariners have won 3 of their last 4. Reached the 500 mark for the 5th time. Good reports on Taijuan Walker in his sim game today. Before the early hitting, Cole Gillespie said that fastball, easy gas. That kid looked good. I looked up on the radar. They had it listed. He was pumping 95. 2-2.
Not to mention, he looks like he's standing right on top of you.
We talked about it a million times. He is a great looking athlete.
Yeah. He really is.
There's Cole. Cole Porter. Asked him how many times have you stressed pitching, fielding, practice? I don't want to know. Not every day you see a game lost by the length of a spike, like last night. And that was the first hit Tony Sipp had given up this season.
Yeah, first hit he'd given up.
Seager's got a full count. 2 on, pitch. Line drive, center field. That's going to get down. Fowler can't get it. Cano scores. Smoke right behind him. 2-run single for Kyle Seager, and the Mariners have an early lead. 2-0. Seager with RBIs 26 and 27.
That moves him to a tie for second with Smoke in RBIs. Cano leading the club with 28, with Smoke and Seager now both with 27. It's a fastball middle away and lines it into center field. Pick up a couple of RBIs.
Well, Seager, last time Houston was here, remember, he was in the throes of a slump and hit the 2 big home runs. Had a 3-run walk-off. And that propelled him for a while, and Felix was cashing in early for the ace. Brett Strom, the pitching coach, out for a quick visit. Cole Gillespie stands in, getting the start today in right field. McClendon wanting to get a lot of right-handers in the order. Pinch hit last night for James Jones. First pitch swinging, fouls it, and it will get out of play. How great is it to see the sun here tonight after the start we had this morning?
It's a beautiful evening, comfortable. Roof is open.
Up high to Gillespie. Cole 5 for 20 in 12 games. Eighth start since joining the ball club. 1-1. Line drive, right field. Alex Presley is there for the catch. Well, the Mariners get 2 runs on 3 hits and leave a man after 1. The Mariners and Felix lead at 2-0. Kyle Seager's giving the Mariners a 2-0 lead. Felix Hernandez back out on the mound. And speaking of King Felix, he's calling all fans to join his Royal Court next Wednesday when he takes the hill against Mike Trout, Albert Pujols, and the Angels at 7:10. You're going to get a gold tee, a K card, plus a seat in the King's Court, all for only $30. So pick up your seats now when you visit Mariners.com/Felix. Start for Felix, gave up an infield hit, got a strikeout in the first inning, and he'll face here in the second Mark Krause, Alex Presley, and L.J. Hose, 5, 6, and 7 in the Houston order.
And the other thing you have to like, he's only threw 9 pitches. 9 pitches, 9 strikes for Felix in the first.
Ball 1 to Krause, hitting at 180 with 3 homers, 11 runs batted in. Felix in his 6th start against Houston, 2-2 record, a 2.40 ERA. He's going 3-0 here to Krause. Alex Presley on deck. Back with the strike. Felix suffered a loss against Houston back on April 21st here at home, and then a no decision at Houston on May 2nd. Play for Seager.
ago. There's probably, what, 4 sections up there today?
Every bit.
Yeah.
Ground ball, Smoke smothers it. Felix there, 1 down.
Another 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Felix just going right at him. He threw it down the middle of the plate. Didn't want to walk him, and gets helped out with some great defense by Smoke.
Bring up Alex Presley, the right fielder.
And I like what Felix did. He was giving Smokey a chance to catch his breath after diving down the line, making sure that he's ready to go. Looking at his thumb.
Fingers so important in this game. Good play here.
Good play by Felix to get over there, but Smoke, hopefully he didn't roll up on his wrist or jam his thumb with that play. Immediately looking at his hand.
For the first pitch tonight, saw some video of Nolan Arenado, outstanding third baseman for Colorado, trying to stretch a single to a double, diving into second, fractured middle finger. So Ben Zobrist do that when Tampa Bay was here last homestand. You were feet first slider 98-99% of the time during your years?
Yes. We saw Josh Hamilton earlier in the year. He's missed all this time for the same reason. Nothing that Smoke can do there, diving for the ball. Going into the bases, and you see guys getting hurt doing that quite a bit. Another good breaking ball from Felix over with the curveball. So he has everything working tonight.
Seager, 2-run single as the Mariners in front. Here's the 1-2. Back up the middle. Willie Bloomquist gets a chance, and he just gets him. 2 outs.
Man, with every close play, the manager is going to come out. Bo Porter, manager for the Astros. Good play by Willie Bloomquist, showing some range. Get rid of the ball quickly, but Presley has good speed. Might be another infield hit for the Astros. Dexter Fowler had an infield hit in the first inning, and they're going to take a look at it. Yeah, I think he beat it.
Willie getting a chance to start. Again, Lloyd McClendon want to get more right-hand hitters in there. Franklin has been struggling. So has Miller, as you know. Willie gets a call tonight.
And now Rick Griffin coming out of the dugout for the Mariners. I'm sure he's going to go check on the hand of Justin Smoke. And keep him in the lineup. Smoke doubled his first at bat, and then making that diving play. He had a hand issue, and now Lloyd McClendon's going to join Rick Griffin out to take a look at it. Here's Willie. Again, gets rid of it quickly with something on it, but Presley at good speed. Willie had to range. That looked a little bit more in the Mariners' favor.
Get a whole bunch of views.
Well, it's just a matter of whether they think there's enough there to overturn it.
Right now, the greater concern is Smoke's hand. Hopefully, it's good to go. Lloyd and Rick Griffin walk off the field. They'll get some more treatment between innings. Tom Hallion, the crew chief, on the right. There's another angle for you. Look where the ball is. Look where the foot is. Either going to be 1 out, 1 on, or 2 outs here in the top of the second.
I think Felix right now just wants to make a decision one way or the other. He looks like he's tired of standing around. It looks like he beats it.
He beat it.
He's out. Okay.
Not enough to overturn it.
Oh, good play by Willie Bloomquist.
2 down here in the second. Minute 2:43 on the review time. Call stands. A call stands. 2 outs. Brings up L.J. HOU. Nasty pitch.
He has a good slider tonight. That's going to be difficult for the right-handed hitters in the lineup for the Astros. There's only 2 of them. Altuve and HOU, both of them going to see their share of sliders, I'm sure.
Last 3 call stands have gone against the Mariners. And when call stands, it means the video is not conclusive one way. Or the Felix 1-2 here to L.J. HOU. Oh, no contest. Absolutely no contest. 3 up, 3 down. 2 Ks for the King and a 2-0 lead. All youngsters 14 and under score a free Felix Hernandez poster. It's all part of Aquafina Little League Day here at the ballpark when the Mariners take on the Tigers at 1:10. Get your tickets for the entire team at mariners.com. Dustin Ackley got caught in between there. Strike 1. Ackley, Zunino, and Bloomquist 7, 8, 9 here against Rudy Owens in his major league debut. 2-run single with 2 outs by Kyle Seager as the Mariners on top. Line drive, base hit to right for Dustin Ackley. What's a turn for him lately? Because he's been looking good these last few weeks.
I think again with Dustin, anytime that he's going to be aggressive, especially early in the count, he has success. And he jumps on a fastball, middle of the plate, 88 miles an hour, and lines it out into right field. But for him, is I think more a mindset than anything. His swing doesn't change.
There's Mike Zunino. Fouled back by Mike Z. 0 for 3 last evening. Looking to get going again. 0 for his last 6, just 1 for 12 in a road trip. Line drive center field for Fowler. Makes the catch. Bring up Willie Bloomquist. Willie with his 5th started shortstop. Twelfth start of the season. Back safely. Only 8 for 45 in limited action, his 18th game.
It's a good idea from Willie, but unfortunately it was the wrong pitch. It was a fastball in the middle of the plate, but it was up out of the strike zone. Gonzalez, the third baseman, was playing back. Apparently he didn't believe Willie because he moved right back in the same position again.
Sure did. Left fielder HOU is extraordinarily deep. First baseman Kraus hangs with it and makes the play. 2 outs and get back to the top of the order. James Jones, who flied out to center.
James trying to extend his hitting streak to 13 games, 12-game hitting streak for him.
And in, that looks like a product of seeing a guy for the first time, right?
I think so. You know, 302 average over the hitting streak, a couple of triples.
Get back safely again. To Jones. 2 outs in the first inning. Cano singled to right. Smoke doubled off the left field fence. Seager singled up the middle, scoring 2. Chopper 2 out Tuve. And he throws out Jones. So no runs, a hit, no errors, and a man left. Mariners lead it 2-0. Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Ford. We are local. By AM/PM. Too much good stuff. By AT&T, mobilizing your world. And by the Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. For more info, visit emeraldqueen.com. Late evening here in Seattle. Absolutely beautiful after cloudy, rainy start this morning as we come to you above the A at Safeco Field here. 2-0 Mariners. Kyle Seager, 2-run single in the first inning. Felix Hernandez, 23 pitches, 2 strikeouts through the first 2 innings. And Michael, he is dialed in.
24 pitches, 19 strikes from Felix, and probably has the best fastball we've seen from him this year. We've seen a slider, 86, 87 miles an hour, a couple of curveballs. Really hasn't had to go to the really good changeup, so he's feeling good tonight.
0-1 to Marwin Gonzalez.
This is for the curve.
Takes upstairs, 1-1. Breaking ball, drops it in for a strike. 1-2. Gonzalez, VR, and Altuve, 8-9-1 here for Houston. Astros have lost 3 consecutive ball games. Coming with a record of 17 up, 31 down. 1-2. Pitch misses, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Count's run full. Eleventh start here for Felix Hernandez. 2-1 here at home. 3.71 ERA. Look at VR, the shortstop. Kings Court full bloom here. There we go, 3-2. Fouled it off.
There's the changeup, 3-2 changeup. Great location with it, right on the outside corner, knee high. Gonzalez barely getting a piece of it.
Three-two pitch. The low end just missed. First walk by Felix. They'll bring out Jonathan VR, switch hitting shortstop, hitting at 215. In a hard line out, 3 ground outs last night is 0 for 4. Mariners win that game 3-1. Strike one. Felix a great salesman with that changeup.
He is. 89 miles an hour. Pretty much in the middle of the plate. He still swings through it.
Tough pitch to bunt, 0-2.
Hard curveball. He has everything working. We saw him in the month of April. This is what he looked like. All 4 of his pitches, all of them plus pitches. And he could throw them all for strikes or bury him in the dirt when he wanted to.
Got up to a 3-0 start with a 1.91 ERA.
Unfortunately, he ended up getting sick, lost 9 pounds, and you could see his velocity was down. Didn't have the snap on his breaking ball. And he is perfectly healthy now.
Seager charges. Takes the easier out. 1 down. 1 out, back to the top of the order, and Jose Altuve. Make sure you get downtown from the airport for only $2.75 on Sound Transit's Link Light Rail. See how easy it is at soundtransit.org. Good crowd. Guys, night out. The Pen. Great commerce tonight. Altuve 7th in batting in the American League, 2nd in hits to Milky Cabrera. Zunino can't find it. Runner moves up. Be a wild pitch. And for Felix, his 6th wild pitch this season, most in the ball club.
He just buries a changeup in the dirt. Mike able to block it, but as soon as it kicks away from him, Gonzalez at second base is able to get to third without a throw. And Altuve, easily the best hitter in the Astros lineup.
Base hit. RBI for Altuve. We have seen in the last week 3 wonderful performances by second baseman. Cano every day we see. Altuve and the Dozier kid in Minnesota.
Yes.
Altuve with an RBI, his 16th. He's first in stolen bases with 16, so be aware.
It's like a slider in the middle of the plate, and he hits it hard right back up the middle. It's the reason why he's hitting over 300 on the year. Bring up Dexter Fowler. Fowler with a base hit. He had an infield hit. Chopper back up the middle. Cano able to backhand it, but couldn't finish the play because of the speed of Fowler.
It's one thing we've learned about Altuve. First or second pitch, it's when he likes to run. 16 stolen bases, 16 out of 19. Altuve first in games and at bats, and second in games played in the league as well. Pitch out.
The thing I've noticed with him when he tries to steal is he'll get his lead. It's not a huge lead, but then he'll continue to move towards second, inch off, and Felix did a good job right there. If you can make him stop, you can help yourself out, but he's trying to time it, and he'll just continue to move his feet.
Altuve getting his lead.
There he goes.
333. Yeah, he does. There he goes. Great jump. And a bobble by Zunino. As Altuve's in with another stolen base, his 17th.
I think Mike would have had a chance to throw him out, but wasn't able to get the handle on this. It's a changeup that's down and into Fowler.
Home plate umpire Eric Cooper calling that a strike. So 1-1 here to Fowler with Altuve at second. Altuve sure is consistent with that, right?
He is. Good player.
He's a really good
player.
Two and one here to Fowler. Just away, 3-1. Back to the strike, full count. On deck, the catcher, Jason Castro, struck out his first time. Three-two pitch, strike three call. Third strikeout for Felix. Two down here in the third.
Just a good fastball, moving fastball at the bottom of the strike zone, 94 miles an hour. Castro's first at bat. Felix went right after him. That's when he hit 95. For a couple of fastballs by him. We'll see what he'll do this time with a runner in scoring position.
Three-pitch at bat.
Good curveball.
Breaking ball for strike one. Crowd tonight looks like it's at or maybe a little bit beyond 20,000. Here's 0-1. He's ahead. No balls and 2 strikes.
And with the runner in scoring position, he mixed up his pattern. Castro's first time up, he was able to throw a couple of fastballs by and gets ahead of him this time with a curveball and then the changeup. Hasn't thrown him a fastball yet.
Altuve's cut the lead in half, and Altuve in scoring position at second base. 0-2 here to Castro. Takes off for third. Swing and a miss. Here's Zunino. He'll throw down the first, and that'll do it. A run on 1 hit. No errors and a man left. Felix with a couple of strikeouts in the 3rd inning. Mariners still lead. It's 2-1. First inning, 2 outs. 3 consecutive hits. This smashed by Cano. And then Smoke almost leaves the yard. He's about 5 feet short. It's a double, sets up second and third. And then Kyle Seager on a 3-2 pitch singles to center. That scores 2. The Mariners have an early lead, 2-0. Altuve just cut it in half with an RBI single. Top half of the 3rd. And here is Altuve picking up an RBI, his 16th. That's where we are right now as we go to the home 3rd. Enjoying Daddy's company. Stephan Romero to lead it off against Rudy Owens. The bunt, found it off. Romero, Cano, and Smoke here in the 3rd.
It'll be interesting to watch Smoke. See how he swings the bat this time around. Made a diving play, and I can see him down in the dugout. He's still flexing his hand.
Off of that one.
Yeah, change up right off the end of the bat. Stephan with a couple of base hits in last night's game. No surprises back in the lineup today.
Called time, didn't get it, and then strikes out looking. 1 out here in the 3rd.
Robinson, Cano with the base hit. The Mariners scoring both their runs with 2 outs. Jones had a fly out to center, ground out by Romero, then a base hit for Cano back up the middle. Smoke put a hole in the left field wall for a double, and then the base hit from Kyle Seager. So the Mariners continue to score runs with 2 outs.
That has been a huge upgrade over the last how many years? Fill in the blank.
I'll go 5 or 6.
Celebration. Still looking for that elusive first home run here at Safeco Field. He's 0-2. Romero, a strikeout victim, first big league strikeout for Houston starter Rudy Owens. Brad Peacock was scheduled to go, but he's got some forearm difficulty, so he was scratched, and they called up this young man. Two-time pitcher of the year in the Pirates minor league system before coming over in a trade for Wandy Rodriguez. 0-2 to Cano. That's going to be enough for a base hit. Stayed with it. 2 for 2 night for Cano, and he got that on a 0-2 pitch. Let's take a look at our Coors Light Cold Hard Facts. Robinson Cano, look at this, has reached base safely in 30 consecutive games, a career best. 386 average, 11 extra base hits. Good stuff. Mariner record 47 games by Mr. Mariner himself, Alvin Davis. Robbie's also 3 out of 4 in base stealing. And here's Smoke, who doubled off the wall.
And the Astros will put the shift on with Smoke hitting right-handed. Swing their infielders around to the left side of the infield. Outfielders playing straight up.
Count here for Cano, for Smoke, beg your pardon, 2-0 with Cano at first base. Pitch.
Try to change it, but missed badly with it.
3-0. Kyle Seager's on deck.
Lloyd McClendon typically will let the guys in the middle of his lineup swing. 3-0. Good pitch on the outside corner and down.
The pitcher's pitch. Mariners 4-3 against the Houston Astros. 2-2 here at home, and 2-1 deep in the heart of Texas. Smoke trying to get some more runs here. 3-1. And it is with strike 2. Wind not a factor here tonight. Flags hanging straight down. 3-2 pitch here to Smoke. Center field. A Fowler. Takes the grab, 2 outs. Get ready to throw on your throwback. It's coming up tomorrow. Mariners and Astros turning back the clock to 1979. You can wear your retro far out funky uniforms. That's what they're going to wear from the 70s. So join the fun and come dressed in your favorite bell bottoms and polyester shirts. Groove on over to Mariners.com for tickets. We're covered there with the old school Astros jersey. Kyle Seager had a 3-2 pitch and single to center, scoring 2. This one to left field. HOU is playing deep. Easy play for him, moving to his left. No runs, a hit, no errors, and a man left. 2-1 Mariners. New episode of Mariners All Access this Sunday at noon. You're going to get exclusive player interviews, behind-the-scenes footage at Mariners stores you can't find anywhere else. If you do miss Sunday's episode, tune in for re-airs throughout the week on Root Sports. For your local programming schedule, go to rootsports.com. Very pleasant evening here at Safeco Field. Still got a lot of bright skies above here and a lot of action out. Guys, night out. The pen in overdrive. Matt Dominguez leads off here for the Astros. The Matt Dominguez, Mark Krause, and Alex Presley, 4, 5, and 6. Felix with 4 strikeouts. He's walked one. That one done walk did come around to score. Seager drove in 2 runs in the first, and Altuve got the Astro run in the third. Late call, but it's a strike. Now 1-2-2. Looking for his 5th strikeout. If he gets it, it'd be 3 consecutive. 2-2. He did go. So ring the bell. Felix 3 consecutive strikeouts, 5 for the ball game.
This is the great changeup from Felix. See the bottom fall out of it, hit right off the top of the plate. That's where he wants to throw it. You take a look at the circle change. Good look at our McDonald's Super Mode. You take a look at the release of Felix. A good look at the way that he grips that changeup and watch it bounce. Looks like it hits right off the top of the plate. And a good play by Mike Zunino to catch it.
Here's Mark Krause. Ground ball down to Smoke. He had to dive for it. He'd done something, tweaked something with his finger, but it was okay. He's back in the 2nd inning, leading off. One. Enough movement on that pitch.
It just has everything going. Yeah, again, he came out of spring training. I believe it was his first 4 outings. He looked similar to what he has tonight. He's topped out at 95 miles an hour, able to throw all of his pitches. That last pitch, a curveball, a 12-6 curveball, and the amount of movement on it, it's just going to be difficult for the hitters to try to square him up. The only pitch that's been hit hard is a slider that he left in the middle of the plate to Altuve.
Got a low ball, 2-2-2. Comes the 2-2 pitch. Fights it off. Ackley long run. Got no play. But the glove couldn't make the catch. Trying to catch the ball with his K card. See that?
I'm pretty sure it didn't work out too well.
Oh, it wasn't close, but he tried.
Really, so far, just 1 fly ball out. Everything else on the ground or a strikeout.
He's got Krause 2-2. Strike 3 call. 4 in a row for Felix. Half a dozen on the ball game. 2 down here in the 4th.
Well, and we've talked about the stuff that he has tonight. All 4 of his pitches exceptional. When he's able to locate his fastball like he did right here to Krause, you really have no chance. 94 miles an hour with some movement right on the inside corner. Just a perfect pitch. Watch it run back, and Zunino, such a good job of framing pitches, holding it there for Eric Cooper, the umpire.
Bring up Alex Presley, the right fielder. Grounded out to short. Play challenged by Bo Porter. Took 2 minutes and 43 seconds. Call stood for the second out in the second inning.
So Bo Porter will not be able to challenge another play. He's done.
Space hit to left.
Pretty good pitch from Felix. 93 miles an hour. Down. Probably middle away. Give Presley some credit with that base hit.
Third hit for Houston.
Good hitting.
2 out, 1 on for L.J. Hose. He was overmatched, striking out in the second to end the inning. Wild swing.
He's trying to catch it to the fastball, Dave. Unfortunately, he's getting sliders. In his first at bat strikeout, he saw a couple of sliders that were off the plate that he was chasing. And that first pitch was a slider.
Not a big lead by Presley. Pitch off the end of the bat. That's a fair ball. Smoke. Apply the tag, and that will do it. Felix picks up 2 strikeouts, runs his total to 6 as we've played 3.5 to 1 Mariners. SF Railway, sponsor of the BNSF Blast. By CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by Jack in the Box. Head to Jack in the Box and try the new Jack's Blazing Chicken Sandwich. It's Jack's hottest sandwich yet. The Cano bobblehead at the old Broadway High School building, now home to Seattle Central Community College. Cano bobblehead went on a tour of Capitol Hill today. We'll have some other sights for you as we move forward. Here's Cole Gillespie to lead it off. Gillespie, Dustin Ackley, Mike Zunino, 6, 7, and 8 against Rudy Owens in his major league debut. Did not hold up. 1-1. Cole lined out to right his first at bat. Two strikes so far tonight. Owens struck out 1, hasn't walked anybody. Gave up 2 runs on 3 hits in the first inning.
think so far making his debut, he's pitched well. He gave up the 2 runs in the first, but looks like he has settled down. He's really done a good job of mixing up his pitches. Good changeup at about 77 miles an hour.
Taking a lot of time. Must be Cole's time. Here's the 1-2. Upstairs. Gillespie in his 8th start. 7 previous starts, all in left field. Lights that one off. Swung the bat well at Tacoma. 362. 5 homers, 14 runs batted in 16 games. And a nice little run. 11 hits. Hits in 11 of the 16 games, including 8 multi-hit ball games. Former Diamondback, Giant, and Cub. Also the 2006 Pac-10 Player of the Year out of Oregon State. On deck, Dustin Ackley. He draws a walk to lead off things here in the home 4th.
Good patient at bat. Didn't get much to hit. Grab Dustin Ackley. Ackley with a base hit his first time up. Solid line drive into right field.
Family's in the ballpark this evening. Good to see this one hammered foul. Look out.
Talked about it before with Dustin Ackley. He's one of the rare left-handed hitters that likes the fastball up in the zone, and he can get to it. His first base hit was a fastball that was in the middle of the plate, but at the top of the strike zone, and you can see where that pitch was. Astros have the shift on. Fielders swung around to the right side of the diamond.
Inside.
Fans didn't like it, but it was a bad curveball. 75 miles an hour, just slipped out of his hand.
Big difference from that 95 that gets away the fastball. Big difference.
Now that one's not as much fun.
Was that last week in Minnesota? Zunino just sort of like, yeah, I'll take it. Remember, it was a breaking ball.
Didn't even think twice about it. Tossed the bat down, run to first. Now he's a catcher.
Pain threshold's a little different, right? 1-1. That is a mile-high pop. Gonzalez with room makes the play. One out. And Zunino will be the next hitter, lined out to center. First time up. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. It gives Zunino a huge gap between the center fielder and the right fielder. They have to shift on in the infield.
Yeah, I think the Astros are trying to lead the league in shifts.
Runner goes, swung on, base hit. Gillespie digging for third, and he's in there safely. Nice base running by Cole Gillespie. One out. Mariners have runners at the corners. Mike Zunino. with a base hit.
Mike able to beat the shift with a solid line drive through the left side of the infield. Talked about Cole Gillespie. He has good speed. He's on the move, but typically a ball hit hard like that to the left fielder, you won't try it, but Cole never slowed down. Gets the Mariners into a great situation as far as scoring a run by getting to third with just one out. Take a look at Cole.
The other factor, too, that we've noticed, too, HOU's plays very deep left field. Willie Bloomquist with a chance to do something here. One out, runners at the corners. Mariners by a run, 2-1 here in the home fourth.
Mariners 1 for 1 with runners in scoring position. That base hit belongs to Kyle Seager.
Ooh. That pitchers hate that.
Well, it was the catcher that called timeout.
Yep. If he pulled something, it was on his team.
They used to just throw it to the backstop because they just didn't want to stop their motion. They would just go ahead and throw the ball well up onto the screen, not trying to hurt anybody, but they wanted to finish their motion.
Working up all that torque, all of a sudden you got to shut it down.
Right, that's tough. How much of a lead for Mike over at first?
Inside to Willie. Fouled out to the first baseman in the second inning. Being the start tonight. A lefty Owens on the mound. Switch hitter Franklin sits. Left-hand hitter Brad Miller sits. Gillespie at third.
Good speed at third. You have to be aware of the squeeze right here with Willie at the plate. He can handle the bat.
Inside again, 2-0. Second-year manager Bo Porter came over from the Washington Nationals, where he'd been third base coach under Davey Johnson. Well, he's got a 2-0 count.
They're just throwing over to first because they want to see what Willie's going to do. See if he's going to tip his hand, if he started to square around or not. He didn't. He didn't show anything. Zunino, a step off the bag. He's not trying to go anywhere.
2 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Mariners as Bloomquist. That'll get the job done. Long fly ball right field. Presley gets it back in a second. Easy scoring on the play is Cole Gillespie. Willie Bloomquist with an RBI. 3-1 Mariners. Bloomquist's first sacrifice fly of the season.
Good at bat for Willie. Takes a couple of fastballs inside and then gets this one out over the plate.
Felix appreciates it. 3-1 lead. Here's Jones for the third time. A fly out and a ground out thus far. Off the glove. And they are not going to get him. Base hit. Another base hit for James Jones. A 13-game hitting streak.
Well, they probably make the play if Owens doesn't stick his glove up, but once he gets a piece of this and knocks it down, no chance to get Jones as he can fly. VR, good effort, but he's not going to get him. Take a look at our McDonald's Superman. He'll get sideways in the air. Again, a great effort, but just too much speed from Jones. It'll be a base hit.
13-game hitting streak. Well, you track coaches out there, would you like to have this guy? Man, does he have good form. strong and explosive runner. Here's Romero. Popped it up. VR there. Mariners pick up a run on the Willie Bloomquist sacrifice fly. They get 2 hits, leave 2, and lead 3-1. Mariners enjoy a 3-1 lead as we go to the top of the 5th inning here at Safeco Field. Here's a reminder that when you take your kids to Safeco Field this coming Sunday, they're going to flip their lids, because not only will they catch great Mariners baseball, they're also going to pick up a sweet Mariners cap. It's free to all youngsters 14 and under, thanks to Aquafina. Grab tickets for the whole family at mariners.com. Felix on top of his game. He's got a 3-1 lead as we go to the 5th. This is turned into a lovely evening after a rugged start with lots of rain and clouds this morning. Dave Sims, Mike Flowers, sports crew on hand here at Safeco Field. The Marwin Gonzalez, Jonathan VR, and Jose Altuve. Strike one to Gonzalez, who walked and scored in the 3rd inning. Felix with 6 strikeouts. He's walked 1.
And with the stuff that he has tonight, you get the feeling those K cards are going to get a workout.
4 good sections. Kings Court tonight. 1-1. Swing ball to Cano. We'll bring up VR. He grounded out to Seager at 3rd. Scoring tonight for the Mariners. Kyle Seager drove in 2. With 2 outs in the 1st inning. Cano single. Smoke doubled off the left field wall. Seager drove him in with a single to center. Then Bloomquist in the 4th, a sacrifice fly. 3rd inning, Altuve drove in the only run for the Astros. Strike one.
Felix, 63 pitches, 44 strikes.
First pitch strikes are impressive as well. $11 out of 18.
Yeah, 11 out of the 18 batters that he's faced.
Curveball, look at that pitch. 1 and 2. Those are the retro shirts. Yeah, that's a great cutout. That's from August 12th, 2012. And find that Felix poster on this guy's night out as VR takes a called 3rd strike. That's 7 strikeouts for Felix. 2 down here in the 5th. Here's Angie Minton.
As you guys mentioned, we've seen 7 Astros head back to the dugout with bewildered looks on your face. And that happens sometimes when you see Felix throw. Not necessarily in the batter's box, but also this little guy. As we take a look at our AT&T fan photos of the game, look at the look on his face as he watches Felix warm up out in the bullpen before the game. And also here tonight, watching the King, Daniel. The son made an appearance today, so he actually had to shade his eyes there. Guys.
All right, Angie, thank you. Is this one down the line by Altuve? This kid is something. A double for Altuve is 16th. He's 2 for 3 tonight with a stolen base and an RBI.
Well, he's aggressive this time. Jumps on a fastball. He likes the ball close to him. The home run that he hit yesterday, there was a pitch that was just off the inside corner. This is well off the inside corner, and he swings at it and gets a double as he hits it right over the bag at third. Astros tonight 1 for 3 with runners in scoring position. Dexter Fowler 1 for 2 at an infield hit his first time up and a strikeout looking.
4th hit for Houston. Breaking the ball in on his hands. Strike 1. Mariners have won 3 of their last 4. They've reached the 500 mark for the 5th time this season. Meanwhile, the Astros have lost 3 consecutive ball games. Unlike last night, the Mariners jumped in front. 12 come from behind victories. And McClendon was asked, what's that mean to you? He says, means we've been down in a lot of games is what it means to me.
Good changeup.
Oh, 2 here to Dexter Fowler. Felix sitting on 7 strikeouts, 1 walk, giving up a run on 4 hits. Kings Court, looping it up out there. Time called by Fowler. Felix has got him 0-2. That's to Fowler, down low. Angels 3-1 at home against Kansas City. That's in the bottom of the 5th inning. Detroit beat Texas 7-2 earlier. Felix ready with the 1-2 to Fowler. 2 outs, man at second. Nicely by Zunino. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Felix with 7 strikeouts to 6 different hitters tonight.
Last couple of pitches, it was a curveball and then the changeup for Felix. He's trying to keep him down, but those pitches out in front of the plate a little bit easier for the hitter to lay off of him.
Oakland lost earlier today, 3-2 at Toronto. Mariners started today 6.5 back. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Altuve at second. Outside counts, run full. Big spot here. Fowler representing the tying run. Payoff pitch. Bounced foul. Led by Tarek Brown, the first base coach.
K-card, glove.
You can tell his kids he saw one of the best in the business. A few years down the road, but nonetheless, he can still tell the story. Altuve at second. It's the Fowler breaking ball fouled off. He's just having a high old time. That little guy. Dad's ready. Looks like Dad's got one ball looking for more. It's a have it guy. And 2. Crowd clamoring for a strike. The pitch. Strike 3 called. They got it. 8 strikeouts for Felix Hernandez. The last 3 looking. He's through 5 with a 3-1 lead. Sports being brought to you by Barrier Motors. Visit Mercedes-Benz of Bellevue at mercedes-benzofbellevue.com. By Seattle City Light. Visit seattle.gov/WePower for more information. And by Pizza Hut, make it great. The James Marshall Hendricks sculpture at East Broadway, and East Pine, done by local artist Daryl Smith, brings back memories. Might have been the first rock concert I ever saw. Spectrum in Philly, 1969, seeing Jimi Hendrix. And that's still a tremendous memory. Man, oh man, that was something. Here's Robinson Cano to lead it off in a home fifth, followed by Smoke and Seager. 2 for 2 night for Robbie. Couple base hits to right, scored a run in the first. At this second, you are looking at the leading hitter in the American League.
.330 batting average for him.
Swing popped up. Gone back, shortstop VR. Giving way to the left fielder, L.J. Hose. And there's one down. Here comes Justin Smoke. Double to left off the wall. And a fly out to center field. Third time look at Rudy Owens under a very interesting sky right now. Big cloud mass moving in. Nice colors for you on TV. Strike 1 to Smoke.
Astros will put the shift on again with Smoke hitting. See the infielders on the left side of the infield.
He's had trouble with that curveball.
Hasn't had a good one tonight. His changeup seems to be a better pitch to the right-handers.
Rudy Owens in his major league debut. Brad Peacock will scratch because of a forearm issue. This young man rushed up from Oklahoma City.
And there's the changeup. Well, he's down right now 3-1, but he's been efficient with his pitches. Only thrown 64 pitches working here in the fifth. 65, excuse me, 44 strikes.
Seager got him for a 2-out, 2-run single in the first. Bloomquist the sacrifice fly in the fourth. 1-2 here to Smoke. 2-2. Here we go, 2-2. Slow breaking ball hit down to the shortstop. VR throws over. Out number 2. 2 outs here in the Mariners' fifth. Coors Light Silver Bullet Saturdays. They kick off tomorrow. First 400 fans who enter the Root Sports Pet for early happy hour at the Rail Bar receive a free Silver Bullet Saturday t-shirt and extended happy hour pricing up until first pitch. Catch a specially marked Coors Light baseball during Mariners batting practice to win tickets to an upcoming game. And make sure you join us for the next Silver Bullet Saturday coming up on the 31st of May versus the Tigers. Cue the purple haze with that shot. Big cloud mass moving in. Seager, 2-run single and a fly to left field tonight. This with the breaking ball.
Astros had the shift on now with Kyle hitting, and I'm not sure that we've seen the second baseman play as deep. You can see Altuve all the way out on the grass, well out onto the grass in right field.
Oh, 2 strikes. Astro fans seen a bunch last night and tonight. Did not go. This is Paul Mauert. 2-2. Three runs on 7 hits for the Mariners. Stranded 5, a run on 4 hits for Houston. Astros have left 3 off. Full count to Seager. Oh, Gillespie's on deck. He's lined out to right. Walk and scored. Three-two pitch to Seager. And it hit him. A 2-out base runner for the Mariners. Game 3 of this set coming up tomorrow here at Safeco Field. Down there at 6:30, our CenturyLink link to what's next. Dallas Keuchel against Brendan Maurer. What have you seen Maurer in his last few outings?
Well, I think the main thing is he's tried to work deeper into some games, and he's taken a little bit off of his fastball, trying to get more movement on it, get more ground ball outs. So it'll be interesting to see what he has tomorrow. It could be a good lineup, a good matchup for him. He has the ability to throw the fastball 95, 96, but in his last few outings, he hasn't thrown many in that area. He's been more around 91.
Here's Gillespie.
I think the big thing for him, Dave, is just commanding the strike zone. He has to work ahead of hitters.
We've certainly seen plenty of that from Felix tonight. Felix with 8 strikeouts, the last 3 looking. Half of the strikeouts swinging, the other half looking this evening. Mariners looking for a hit in this inning. They've got at least 1 hit in each of the first 4 innings.
Gillespie led off the 4th inning with a walk. He eventually scored on a sacrifice fly by Willie Bloomquist. He's 0 for 1 with a run scored.
Check swing. Altuve makes the play. So first inning, the Mariners do not get ahead. They strand a runner. 5 in the books, a 3-1 Seattle lead. T-Mobile unleash from the rules of wireless restrictions. Well, this is a game that you could see from the get-go that Felix was on top of his game. His entire arsenal, razor sharp, and through 5 innings. He's got 8 strikeouts to the delight of the Kings court. And their royal blue t-shirts tonight and their new K-cards. And he is dialed in, to say the least. Looking dominant like we have seen him so many times before. And Felix trying to get his 6th win of the season. He comes in with a 5-1 record, a 2.94 ERA. And he has not hurt those numbers. He's got 3, 4, and 5 coming up here in the 6th inning. Decent Castro. And he has had Castro flummoxed now. First 2 at bats and that first pitch. Castro's K'd twice. Foul ball down to Smoke. Advantage Felix 0-2.
Felix laughing about a Smoke field it. He threw him a fastball from about 15 feet away. You think about it right now. You're 0-2. You're stepping in the batter's box. What are you even thinking about?
A myriad of possibilities how I can be sent back to the dugout. Felix knocked it down. Can he recover? Yes, he does. Nice play. What a competitor. What an athlete. 1 out.
And Lloyd McClendon immediately out of the dugout. Rob Nodine. Want to make sure that he is okay. Quick turnaround.
Didn't even get to the dirt.
Yeah.
Get out of here. I'm good.
It ended up getting more glove than anything, so he's fortunate.
So dead grip. Had some heat on it. 1 out. Brings in Matt Dominguez, fly to right, and strikeout. Strike 1 to Matt. Toronto beats Oakland 3-2. Detroit beats Texas 7-2. Angels lead 3-1 at home against Kansas City. That's bottom 6. The scores in the American League West. Here's the 0-1. Seager charges. Got an easy play. 2 outs. 2 outs here in the 6th inning. Step up your hat game. You come to Safeco Fields on Friday, May 30, Mariners Fedora night. There's 20,000 fans going to take home a fashionable hat that both guys and girls can enjoy. Get tickets for Fedora night. Mariners take on the Tigers at mariners.com. Mark Krause, the hitter. Popped it up. Jones calling everybody off. How many? And Felix with a terrific 6th inning as he gets through 1, 2, and 3.
Back, everyone. You are looking at Mariner Vision right now, and which boat is going to win? It's the photo finished, and green is going to take it. Now, this is green. Forgive me. It was yellow. I thought it was green. I want to see a recount. Anyhow, tomorrow, Mariner Vision is going to go back in time. This whole weekend is retro, and tomorrow it is going to look just like things did back in the Kingdom days. I wonder, guys, if they're going to bring back the USS Mariner, the ship out in the outfield.
What do you
interesting
think?
To see.
You in for that, Mike? What do you think?
I'm in for it. I'd love the ship out there.
Good deal. Could be great.
It would get a little smoky in the Kingdom, though, when they'd fire that thing off. But it was fun.
Here's Dustin Ackley to lead it off. Altuve plays the one hopper. Dustin 1 for 3 tonight. One down here in the 6th. That'll bring up Mike Zunino. 1 for 2. Get a base hit to left with Gillespie aboard 1 out in the 4th. Gillespie went to 3rd and then scored on the Willie Bloomquist sac fly. Strike one on the mic. Hits this well. Deep right center field. Going back, Presley off the top of the fence. Zunino in with a stand-up double.
Oh, boy. We saw that a couple of times on the last homestand ball that hit the top of the padding and would bounce back. Lloyd McClendon out of the dugout. You take a look at our McDonald Supermo in the swing. Good extension from Zunino, driving the ball the other way. We'll see where it lands. And again,
my goodness,
it was Corey Hart hit one almost in the same spot.
Yep. Yeah, some kind of strong. Derek Jones, the cameraman on that. Good follow. Clearly hit off the yellow tape. Saw Cano hit one off of yellow tape in left center field. No doubt about it. John Howie and the crew chief getting everybody together. Zunino, if the double stands, it'll be his 7th. If it's a home run, it'll be his 7th. We're going to go take a look at it. Back with more right after this. Welcome back, everybody, to no one's surprise. That was ruled a double for Mike Zunino. Only took 33 seconds to take a look at it. So Zunino, a one-out double, his 7th double this season. And here's Willie Bloomquist in another RBI situation. He drove in a run in the 4th with the sacrifice fly. Really gets into one. Deep down the line. Left field. Giddy up, baby. Giddy up. Gone. Willie Bloomquist with a 2-run homer. Willie B's driven in 3 tonight. First home run of the season. His 2nd tour of duty with the Mariners. We have a 5-1 lead. Look at him smiling. Come on, Willie. Let it go.
Well, he gets a fastball probably off the plate inside. Wanted to be aggressive right away. No doubt about this one. No review necessary as Willie hits it right down the line. It was just a matter of whether it was going to stay fair. It's a good swing on it. Hands inside the ball. There you go. Barrels it up.
Jones. And a foul ball. Good for him. There's Jones.
Body English. Trying to keep it fair.
Willie gets his first home run since August 10th, 2011. First homer in 626 at bats. Foot race. The throw just gets him. Jones is retired for out number 2.
Oh, Willie. 9th in the order, getting a chance to start, and he drives in 3 runs. That's why it helps to have your veterans on the bench.
Boy, did that work out well. Miller, big slump trying to crawl his way out. Franklin, a recent call. Darren Downs heating up. Franklin off to a slow start. So Willie gets a show tonight against the left-hander. There's Romero, 0 for 3 tonight. I have to give Willie the business. Blushing coming down the third baseline. Dude, you just homered for the first time in eons. Enjoy it.
Look at all of his teammates around him right now. He is now. He's got a crowd.
Doing some stand-up now, I'm sure. He's one of the great impressionists on the team. Ball and 2 strikes. 8-hole hitting Mike Zunino doubles off the wall, and Willie Bloomquist batting ninth, a 2-run homer. 3 RBI night for Willie. Balls, 2 strikes. Game 2 of an 11-game homestand for the Mariners, their longest homestand of the season. Romero fights off another one. Grounded out the third in the first inning, took a called third strike leading off the third, and then the fourth popped up to the shortstop. 2-2. And the count is run full. Rose on deck. He's 2 for 3 with a run scored. Inside for Romero, ball 4. And Cano will get a chance to swing the bat. 2 outs and a man aboard at first.
And Bo Porter on his way out to the mound.
Second walk issued, and Bo is going to go to the bullpen. Rudy Owens goes 5 2/3 in his major league debut. Is going to leave trailing 5-1. Bloomquist, Kyle Seager, and the Mariners as they lead 5-1. Here's a look at the Mariners calendar brought to you by Sleep Country USA. 2 more games here with the Astros, then the Angels for 4, the Tigers for 3. Make-up game with the Yankees. See the Atlanta Braves down there, and then Tampa Bay all coming up.
And for Rudy Owens, 5 2/3, 9 hits, 5 runs, all of them earned, a couple of walks, 1 strikeout, 91 pitches for him. He threw 59 strikes. Darren Downs is going to take over, another left-hander for the Astros.
Downs called up from Oklahoma City on May 4th. First time in the big leagues this season.
8th appearance on the year, has yet to give up an earned run. 4 2/3. He has 5 strikeouts. Opponent hitting just 125 off of him. Robinson Cano 2 for 3.
Strike 1 to Robbie. So Romero, 2-out base runner. Bloomquist, if you're just tuning in, a 2-run homer earlier here in this frame. Runner goes. There's Romero, head first dive. They get him 1-3-6. So Cano will lead off when we get back for the Mariners in the home 7th, 5-1 Seattle.
Weekend here at Safeco Field in the Kings Court. No different. They've got retro t-shirts out there and K-cards we've been showing them to you all night, and we show you now some of our AT&T fan photos with the same flavor. And first up, we got Jesse from the Kings Court in our AT&T fan photos using the hashtag Mariners fan photo. Send us yours. They're having a good time out there, and so is Cheyenne and her friends as well. Keep them coming, and we will show you perhaps in an upcoming broadcast, guys.
All right, Angie, thank you very much. Alex Presley to lead off. Top of the 7th. What a night for the Mariners. Felix Hernandez, the king, on top of his game with 8 strikeouts. Willie Bloomquist with the 5th career home run. 2-run shot. He's driven in 3 on the night. The Mariners lead it 5-1. Felix quickly in front of Alex Presley, the right fielder. He was 1 for 2. 6, 7, and 8 in the order here for Houston. Put it in play to Seager. Now throws out Presley. 1 out.
Outside of a leadoff walk, they came around and scored. The Astros really haven't done much to him outside of Altuve. The rest of the lineup, not much.
Altuve's 2 for 3.
He just kept the ball on the ground. Just 2 flyouts in the game. The rest ground ball outs or strikeouts for him.
No multiple hit innings this far. 1 hit in the first. 1 in each of the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. One the Hose, who struck out, grounded out the first.
There you go. 85 pitches, 62 strikes. Faced 25 batters, 18 first pitch strikes, consistently pitching ahead of the Astros tonight.
All in 2 strikes. 2-2. As we expected, a little more than 20,000 tonight here at Safeco Field. 21,192. May have been entertained. 2-2. Coming off his foot. Mariners can hold on and be their 4th win in the last 5 games. Extend the Houston losing streak to 4 consecutive ball games. That one got away from him. Full count to Hose, batting in the 7th hole. He's the left fielder. Marwin Gonzalez on deck, the 3rd baseman. Three-two pitch. Foul off. Just tuning in, Kyle Seager, 2-run single in the 1st. Willie Bloomquist, the sacrifice fly in the 4th. And Willie Bloomquist in the 6th, a 2-run homer. You heard right, a 2-run homer by Willie B, playing at shortstop tonight, his 5th career home run. First homer since August 10 of 2011. 3-2. Struck him out. 9 Ks for Felix. 2 out in the 7th. He is on his game. It's Robinson Cano bobblehead night. The Mariners take on the Tigers Saturday, May 31st at 7:10 p.m. Text Cano to 71532 to win 2 tickets in the Commissioner's Box for bobblehead night. Plus, receive your very own 7-inch version of the 5-time All-Star. For more info, go to mariners.com. Looking westbound down Yesler. The Smith Tower in the background. Bouncing ball to Smoke. And a very easy inning for Felix, who's now retired 3, 6, 7 in a row. A 12-pitch inning. Cano's going to lead off when we get back after the 7th inning stretch. Brought to you by Washington's Lottery and the Department of Imagination. What would you do if you won? That is a great question. Mariners winning tonight. Bottom of the 7th, looking for more runs here against Houston. A 5-1 lead. A lot of good stuff this evening. Felix Hernandez, 9 strikeouts through 7. Willie Bloomquist, the hitting star, has driven in 3 runs. Robinson Cano, 2 for 3. Kyle Seager's driven in 2 runs. And this one popped up. Long run for Presley coming in, the right fielder. And there's one down. Fans, follow every Mariners game with MLB.com at bat on your favorite mobile phone or tablet. Get live look-ins, instant replay, scores, stats, audio, free MLB.tv game of the day, and more. Download on the App Store or visit Mariners.com today. Justin Smoke will be the hitter. 1 for 3 tonight. Doubled off the left field wall. First pitch that he saw back in the first against starter Rudy Owens.
And nobody throwing in the Mariner pen, so Felix will have a chance to get to double digits in strikeouts.
Third time. 11 against the Angels on the road and 11 here against Oakland. That was back in early going. Matter of fact, that game against the Angels, that was in the season opener. One. It's a shift. Good job by Smoke with a base hit. He's got 2 hits tonight. Served that one into right center.
That's one of the things about the shift that we've seen this year. They're playing him to pull the ball, but they're set up away. They're pitching him away. That's a fastball in the outside corner. The entire right side of the infield open for him.
So another hit for Smoke, right-handed. So that makes it, he's 6 for his last 9 in his last 5 games as a right-hand hitter.
Put the shift on with Kyle hitting him. Swing around to the right side of the infield.
Ball upstairs for Darren Down.
That's a balk.
How about Albuquerque balking in the game winner the other night? Did you see that?
I did not.
That was amazing against Texas. He moved. He was down and he moved the glove, and everybody saw it. Ball.
That was it.
Game over.
Well, he just dropped the ball. He was standing there, looked like he was getting his sign, and just dropped it.
Chance for Seager to pick up his 3rd RBI tonight. Now Albuquerque. Detroit balking in a run.
He's been around too. He knows better than that.
Oh, no doubt about it. Broken bat, looper. There we go. They're going to wave Smoke. Fowler up with the ball. Kyle Seager, a 3 RBI night, matching Willie Bloomquist. The Mariners extend the lead to 6-1. 2-hit night for Kyle. Balk gets him to second.
There you go. Just drop it. And if you have towed the mound, towed the rubber, then that's going to be a balk. And now here Kyle gets a base hit right off the end of the bat. Little flare into left field. Those are, as a hitter, you love those. Those are a beautiful thing, especially if you're able to pick up an RBI. Kyle now has driven in 3 runs. So Kyle has driven in 3 runs, and so has Willie Bloomquist. Good night for the left side of the infield.
Cole Gillespie, 0 for 2, walk and a run scored. Ball backhanded by Gonzalez to Altuve. Around the horn they go for the double play, but the Mariners do pick up a run on 2 hits. No errors. They don't leave anybody. 6-1 Seattle. Seattle Mariners baseball on Root Sports, being brought to you by Vern Fonk Insurance. Bad luck can hit anyone. Insure with the 13th man. Vern Fonk Insurance. By Barrier Motors. Visit Barrier Audi at barrieraudi.com. And by Money Tree, proud to make a donation to Mariners Care for every Mariners win. As you look at the Cano bobblehead of Bobby Moore's playfield, who's a longtime Capitol Hill coach and King County auditor. Ballpark named in 1980, part of Hal Anderson Park, which opened in 1901. And look at the AstroTurf for the kids at that ballpark. Learn how to feel that ball scooting off of the artificial stuff. There's a fly ball center field that James Jones puts away. It's off the bat of shortstop Jonathan VR. One out.
Well, you would think this will be the last inning for Felix. He is at 94 pitches now. Charlie Furbush getting loose in the pen. There's Charlie.
Felix went 8 in his last outing at Minnesota. Picked up the win. Went 6 2/3 outing before that. That was here against Tampa Bay and got the win in that one.
Yeah, I think he really wants that strikeout. Get to 10.
Absolutely. Be his third double-digit K9. Strike one to Altuve. 2 for 3 tonight. Stolen base and an RBI. 1-1.
First pitch strikes. 21 out of the 28 hitters he has faced.
Off of Felix. Seager tries, can't get it. Nice job by Smoke to come off the bag. And Altuve is really something. That's his third hit tonight.
And Lloyd McClendon up immediately to go out to the mound with Rick Griffin. Looked like he hit him in the leg, maybe the calf. Another slider, too, out over the plate.
Ball was tagged, too. Really tagged.
Take a look at it. Slider. Yeah, look, they hit him on the calf. Actually, a changeup. Changeup.
Point you just made. He wants number 10.
He wants number 10. He was not going to come out of the game. I think the other part of that is he knows this is probably going to be his last inning, 97 pitches, so he'll be over 100 by the time this inning is over.
Let's even get Fowler for the third time. First 2 times looking. 3-2 pitch on both occasions.
Danny Farquhar has joined Charlie Furbush in the pen. Chad Qualls throwing for the Astros.
Nine strikeouts for Felix, 1 walk. That walk did come around and score. That was back in the 3rd inning. And he's ahead of Fowler, 0-2. Fans get their wish. Strikeout number 10. The 0-2 pitch to Fowler. Just got a piece of it.
Good changeup. 89 miles an hour down and away, off the plate away.
So an 0-2 count. It's an extra Fowler. 1 out without Altuve at first. Ball 1. 1-2 pitch here to Fowler. Here's a double play opportunity. May converted. Felix is fired up. Gotta love it through 8. The King with a 6-1 lead. Heart of a lion, the burning desire for victory. Watch this guy right here, Felix Hernandez. A 1-6-3 double play, and he is fired up.
He's a lot of fun, isn't he?
Special performer.
Yeah. And his night is done.
9 strikeouts, 1 walk on the Astros. 1 run and scattered 5 hits. Impressive.
For Felix, 8 innings, 5 hits, 1 run. It was earned, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts, 102 pitches. What a night.
Veteran right-hander Chad Qualls takes over. 3rd pitcher tonight for Houston.
For Qualls, his 17th appearance on the year. 3.29 ERA, 16 strikeouts, only 3 walks. Opponents hitting .321 off of Chad.
Second tour of duty with Houston for Chad. He was with the Astros from 04 to 07. From there, he's been to Arizona for 3 years, part of a year with Tampa Bay, San Diego, Philly, the Mets, Pittsburgh, and Miami, all aboard. Here's Dustin Ackley. For 3 for him tonight. 11 hits for the Mariners. Slicing drive deep to left. Hose adjusts nicely for it. 1 out. Hey, are you the ultimate Northwest Mariners fan in the state of Oregon? Like the Bruck family here. Then Root Sports is looking for you throughout the month of May. Send us a photo and story using hashtag UltimateNWFan or on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or by email at ultimatefan@rootsports.com. And you can win a trip for 2 to Safeco Field for Fan Appreciation Night in September. Personalized Mariners jersey and more. For official rules, go to rootsports.com. Mike Zunino gets into one. Deep to left. Hose going back. And he makes the catch just in front of the wall. Thought he had one. 2 outs.
Good night for Mike. 2 for 4. Just missed a home run his last at bat. But Willie Bloomquist.
Our Seattle City Light power play. Wow, Willie, first home run, Mike, since August 10th, 2011. That's a span of 626 at bats.
Good timing.
Good RBI night. Had a sacrifice fly in the 4th.
Driven in 3 runs tonight. 2-run home run and a sacrifice fly for Willie. And it looks like it'll be Charlie Burbage to pitch in the top of the 9th inning.
To Willie. Stayed alive there, 1-2.
I think with the left-hander Dallas Keuchel do the pitch in tomorrow's game, the starter, Willie will be in the lineup again.
He's earned it.
Yes.
Paul's 35 years old, 6'4", 239 out of Austin. Born and raised in Harbor City, California. Several veterans added to this bullpen of the Astros. They had a real kiddie core out there last year. Right now they've got Kyle Farnsworth, who's much traveled. Qualls is out there. Tony Sipp. Been an upgrade. Good battle here by Willie. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 3 RBI night for him. 1 for 2. Two. Strike 3 called. And we go to the top of the 9th. 3-4-5 coming up for the Houston Astros. Mariners enjoy a 6-1 lead. intensity of Felix Hernandez. And Mike, you identified it. You identified it at the very beginning as these guys get their party groove on, that he had everything working in the tool bag.
I just felt like his last outing against Minnesota, he was close to that, and he typically will do that. He'll bounce back after a couple of outings where things don't go well. He'll start to get it figured out, and unfortunate that he was sick, but he entertained all those people up there tonight. Charlie Furbush will take over for Felix. For Charlie, his 20th appearance on the year. 12 strikeouts and 12 and a third. Opponent's average 313, so Charlie will keep working on that.
Charlie has been, the last couple of outings,
much better.
Much better. Been on top of that slider, been under it, been leaving it flat.
That was a good one right there. Just missed off the plate away.
Leadoff man is Jason Castro here in the ninth. Two 2-0. Castro to be followed by Matt Dominguez and Mark Krause here in the top of the ninth inning.
Danny Farquhar throwing in the pen for the Mariners.
Miss, 2-1. Breaking ball of beauty. 2-2. It's a Friday night in Seattle. Make it happen. Bring up another K. Why not? 2-2. Line drive, right field. And put away by Cole Gillespie, 1 out. Matt Dominguez, 0 for 3. Fly to right, struck out, grounded out to third. Here comes Lloyd McClendon. How about 3 RBI nights for Mr. Bloomquist and Mr. Seager? To aid and abet the cause of Felix Hernandez, who went 8 very dominant innings with a 9 strikeout performance. Lloyd McClendon taking the luxury of mixing and matching with this lead here at home. He's got a 6-1 advantage. Brings in Danny Farquhar after Charlie Furbush retires his only hitter.
And for Danny, his 20th appearance on the year. He's pitched well, 2.91 ERA for him, 24 strikeouts and 21 2/3. Opponent's hitting just 200 off of Danny. Good fastball, earlier 94 to 96 miles an hour. Cut fastball at 89 to 91. And a good overhand 12-6 curve. We'll face Matt Dominguez, the right-hand hitter, cleanup hitter tonight for the Astros.
Dominguez 0 for 3 against Danny. Breaking ball for strike. Two.
That was the good cutter right off the outside corner.
Off of the gloves of Zunino. Field 2. Got him. Zunino will throw down the first. 2 away.
Ten strikeouts for the Mariners tonight. Of course, 9 of them going to Felix.
Mariner pitching accounted for 11 Ks last evening. Well, Friday night crowd of 21,192 on its feet right now. Mark Krause stands in, 2 outs. Top of the 9th, Mariners up 6-1. Farquhar coming right after him. Krause 0 for 3. One. 1-1. And Farquhar and the Mariners a strike away from putting this one in the books. Farquhar 1-2. Pitch. Drive to right field. Gillespie makes the catch, and the Mariners win the ball game 6-1. Felix Hernandez has won his 3rd consecutive ball game. Mariners have won 4 of their last 5, and Mike, they go over 500 for the first time in 10 days at 24-23.
Well, we talked about it with the Mariners. They weathered the storm with the schedule and the injuries in the first part of the season, trying to stay around 500. They were able to do that, but now the schedule is switched. This is the first long homestand, and so far they've won the first 2 games, taking care of their business. Felix Hernandez outstanding once again. He looks like he's all the way back. And how about Willie Bloomquist? Really getting a chance to start at shortstop tonight. Ends up driving in 3 runs. It's his first home run of the season.
So the Mariners in game 2 of this 11-game homestand go 2-0. A fine start, and for more details and observations, we go out to center field. Brad and Bill with the Mariner postgame show.
Thank you, guys. Nice to see Danny Farquhar walk off. Shaking hands, giving high fives. Mariners do take it 6-1, a game over 500. As Mike Blauer said, Bill, Willie Bloomquist goes deep. Not just the first time this year, first time since 2011. And nice to see Felix Hernandez beat the Astros. I can't believe I just said that.
I know it's a little bit of a head scratcher, the quirkiness of professional sports, how what would seem to be the easiest team to beat ends up being kind of a thorn in your side. But I think he kind of put that all to rest tonight. That was a men against boys kind of a competition.
8 strong, as we said, he would go deep. 1 earned, strikes out 9. Plenty more, of course, on Felix. But right now, one of the offensive stars, I believe, Jay Mueller standing by with big swinging Willie. Is that right?
That's right. Willie Bloomquist. Big swinging Willie Bloomquist, as Brad Adams said. And, you know, we're going to talk about the home run in just a second. But I have a feeling that you might be more proud of the sacrifice fly you had hit earlier. How do you approach a pitcher who's making his major league debut that you haven't seen before?
Well, just not to do too much. He's he was throwing me in quite a bit there, and I just wanted to make sure I didn't get a pitch that I rolled over the left side of the infield. I was just trying to stay up the middle the other way, and my job's hit a fly ball to the outfield right there. So I was able to get a pitch to do that, and didn't try and do too much.
So you get a run in on that one. Mike Zunino does you a favor. He gets a ground rule double, so there's somebody else to drive in when you hit the home run. We don't usually see you pull the ball like that. How was that at bat and that swing?
I don't know what happened. I think I blacked out. So it was. It's been a while since I hit a ball on that side of the field, but I got a pitch down and in, and was able to get the head out on it, and felt pretty good. I think it's my wife and kids are in town. That's why. So they gave me a little extra boost today.
You said it's been a long time since you've hit it to that side of the field. Do you know how many at-bats it's been since you last hit a home run? Because I saw you smiling coming around third.
No, it's been a while, but try not to keep track of that sort of stuff so I can sleep at night. So, but yeah, that was a good feeling. It's been a while.
626 at-bats. But one more question. I know, but now that's over. One more question. Felix Hernandez, tough out there tonight, not just when it came to facing hitters, but on the mound. He gets hit twice. He comes up, makes at least 3 plays. His performance tonight, how do you rate it?
No, Felix is just an incredible athlete, and he does what he does out there. So, that's we've all come here in Seattle to know Felix is that's what you're going to get. Pretty much night in, night out. When he's out there, he's going to compete. He's going to do what he does best, and it's a lot of fun to play behind him when he's on our mound.
We have also come to know Willie Bloomquist here as Boom Boom, and Brad, he does deliver the boom tonight.
He does, Jen. Thank you very much. Good to see Willie go deep. See you, buddy. I like to embarrass Willie a little bit, too. Great guy. Nice to see him. Sac fly, the 2-run home run. He had 3 RBIs. Kyle Seager had 3 RBIs. Mike Zunino, as we pointed out, he's got a lot of zoom in that bat. No doubt about that. He goes to right center field. Can't quite leave the park. But Willie able to. The 6th inning, this one is hit about as far as you can and keep it in the park.
Looked like an Edgar Martinez right center stroke right there. Looked like home run all the way. Kind of died in the vine at the top of the wall. Zunino coasts in with the double. Of course, we got to have the long timeout so they can go under the hood. There you see hitting the bottom of the yellow line. Cole Porter had to kick a look at it.
That's 6th inning, and then Jones says, stay fair, long enough. Wow, yeah, Willie got one. How about that?
That's a little backlegging right there by Willie Bloomquist. I'll tell you what, I think he's done a terrific job here. He's been playing in spot situations. He's delivered in the clutch. He's played an excellent shortstop. This was a great pickup for the Mariners. And you know how good it feels for Willie to come back home and do these things for this ball club. And
good that his family in town to watch this. Maybe they should stay around a little bit longer. Hint, hint. All right, Willie Cano getting it done. The second and shortstop tonight. Mariners take game 2 of the set. 6-1. We'll hopefully hear from Felix, the skipper, and Mr. Seager on this one. Keep it here. Post game keeps rolling on Root Sport.